All right. He's a running.
We're alive! It's alive! We're running through the scary door. We're running through the normal door. And we run into the stupid door. The stupid door. Join the Ritter Brothers. I've joined the Ritter Brothers. We're riding together in the hopes of creating better work. A bit of feedback, just a bicep, yeah.
HBO's The Last of Us.
Watching HBO.
Your audio's leaking through again.
What? That's a personal one. How's that?
Much better.
Yeah. I feel invisible.
Shit, babe, can I get the stick?
Morality.
Tonight, join us as we embark on a journey through all things pop culture in Hollywood while checking out some movie trailers, and then we're going to talk about For All Mankind Season 5. All this right now on the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. And welcome once again to the end of the podcast. Whoopsie. There we go. I'm Peter York, joined by the ever-so-lovely Mr. Pollo Zapatos, while the ever-so-lovely Mr. Corione is out chasing bad guys, but is apparently here with us in spirit. Please feel better, Corione. We miss you. We missed you last week. We're now missing the Star Wars revival. The Star Wars revival is sleeping another week. So, hopefully we'll be back into that. But I can't bring myself to review Star Wars Episode 4. Right now, enough as is, because I feel like we're at 388 subscribers strong, which is not a terrible number. I mean, I don't hate it. I'd love it if we were a little further along than we are. But you know what? Life happens. Chasing your dreams is probably the hardest goal to achieve in life. And, sometimes those dreams can be as easy as getting up and going to get your favorite sandwich, or, learning your favorite song on a 6-string. What about you, John? What is your dream right now? What today you woke up tomorrow and success has been achieved for Pollo Zapatos. Walk us through a day of goal complete.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, it used to be like really fancy stuff. Like, I always had this dream house and dream cars and a lot of dream stuff. But nowadays, I want to wake up and not owe anybody anything.
Right?
I just want to...
I just don't want to owe anyone money anymore.
But, dude, whether you're paying money to friends or paying back parents or paying back loans or paying rent...
Or paying survival. Yeah, exactly. Or beer.
Like, dude, I earn enough money. I earn more money than my dad ever could have imagined at my age. And I feel further in the hole. And according to all of the, stats, I am. I'm like a whole 100,000 short of my actual goals.
Well,
so, when I say my dreams are simple, what I do mean is that, the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids seems very basic.
That seems like a luxury if you're being honest with me.
Yeah, because I have one dog and one cat, which is 1/4 person per animal.
I've got 2 cats, and them shits are expensive.
I've got 2 boys, so
yep.
I've got my 2. And I am probably
now you just need your half kid
years away from a house.
Yeah, now you just need your half child, and then you can buy your house when you turn 40.
No, that's my cat and my dog are my half children. They each count as a quarter, yeah. So I have my half.
If you want to do us the honor of liking, sharing, subscribing, telling all your friends about the Ryder Brothers so you can make our dreams come true, that's really all we're asking at this point. When the ease of throwing money at us becomes available, we'll make those options, because nobody cares about your Subscribe Star or your Substack. People barely give a shit about Patreon anymore these days. So, yeah, we're going to go to a third-party website, maybe freaking Rumble if we get around to it. But yes, my dream is to one day be able to have at least 1 or 2 more podcasts on this channel regularly that I can look forward to showing up to and, making this, either my full-time living, part of a living. It is going to be what it needs to be. But also, I've loved the journey so far. It is embracing authenticity before literally anybody else was a risk, but in the end, we don't lie. We give you the honest, quality human content to the best of our ability. Oh, jeez, I had to freaking redo these graphics a little bit. We do our best to give it to you every single day that we can. And, I think without further ado... Oh, no, wait, that is right. It's supposed to be there. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into our pop culture news brief. The Price is Right producer defends Bob Barker after damning E! docuseries Dirty Rotten Scandals. Well, I guess it's a good thing Corleone could make it tonight, because if you guys know anything about Corleone on this particular show, he's been very vocal about how big of a fan he is not of Bob Barker. The Price is Right producer Roger Dobkowitz. Price is Right producer Roger Dobkowitz, the leading veteran of the show who produced more than 4,650 episodes across 4 decades, is defending the show and its longtime late host Bob Barker in the wake of the damning E! docuseries Dirty Rotten Scandals. Well, if it's so damning, what have you got to defend? Maybe the language in the article is just confusing, but it would seem to me that if the evidence is there... Alright, yeah. 2 episodes of a 6-part series focused on the beloved CBS daytime game show. It featured interviews with former staffers and Barker's beauties, models who allege that in some instances they experienced or witnessed sexual harassment, discrimination, retaliation, racism, or a hostile work environment. Barker, who died in 2023 at 99, long denied any wrongdoing, as did his longtime rep Roger Neal, who released a fresh statement earlier this month when Dirty Rotten Scandals hit the air, calling him beloved then and now. Look, it's no surprise that anyone's going to try and say this. I understand that, people might fear a bit of character assassination, but unfortunately, given the era that Bob was in and where the Me Too movement started to finally gain traction and get a lot of coverage and press, I've got to say that it doesn't really look very good for Bob there in the long run. What do you think so far, John?
Well, okay, if you think about it, like you remember hazing in the military, by like most standards, if that got exposed, and it has in the past, it's gotten in a lot of trouble.
Correct.
So like Bob Barker's from a generation where hazing was only hazing if somebody died.
Getting butt raped builds character.
Exactly. So I think that like it's really hard to be like, oh man, he should have like atoned for his sins. And it's like, according to him, he didn't. Like he can point to all of the other showrunners that everybody else has already pointed to and been like, I made sure we didn't do that. Oh, did I call somebody fat? I'm not going to apologize for that. Oh, did I hurt somebody's feelings because I said they weren't attractive? I'm not going to apologize for that. Because he's like, I just said some mean words compared to, and see the onslaught of his predecessors. And I think that like that's the part where people are like, why are you doubling down and defending it? He's like, because by everybody else's standards, it wasn't really all that bad. And also like, maybe according to their standards, it wasn't that bad. And that just means they have lower standards than you. And that kind of helps you figure out where your bar is compared to the rest of the world and whether or not you want to hold your bar so high. Like, to me, it's the biggest thing, judge not lest ye be judged.
Well, and the thing is,
at the same time, like, he's dead.
Right.
Are we trying to get everybody else to apologize for him? Because that's trying to, like, get people to join your religion when they die.
I think that this whole nonsense about apologizing for wrongdoing is in the sense that you should certainly do it if you feel it needs to be done. But I agree with you that it doesn't make any sense, and it's not going to mean anything, because that shouldn't necessarily be the point of looking back at somebody like this and exposing the truth. Now, we call ourselves honest quality human content not because we are shipping a brand that we, turn into liars in our spare time. No, I try to be as authentic off the air as I am on the air and try not to be too much of a different person either way. Yeah, there's some projection and hype here. This is a show. But overall, I try to be the same person. Mostly so I can avoid situations like this when people look back on my legacy and find out, oh, well, it wasn't all that bright. And of course, everybody makes mistakes at one point or another. And I think that's honestly what a lot of this needs to be understood as. If there's severe, crimes that were committed, if there was, improprieties, like, Epstein class related stuff, that's a whole different conversation. At the same time, I would say that Bob probably floated, definitely not to that extreme, although, well, the whole hunting animals in Africa thing was pretty bad too. I would say that at the end of the day, people are human.
Hunting animals in Africa wasn't that bad. All the way up until, like, depending on which side of the aisle you grew up on. Like, for us, we watched people on the right just constantly defend anybody hunting. They're like, yeah, he killed a lion, who cares? And that line hasn't shifted for most of those people. Like, just because the internet and the media makes it look like that line is shifting, if anything, it's just painted the other side brighter. And that's useful and technical, but at the same time, it's not like perfect.
Do I think if presented with accountability, would Bob Barker own up to his mistakes? I would lean more towards yes. Unlike Harvey Weinstein, Bob Barker probably is somebody who could understand, well, I did it thinking it was appropriate, but it obviously wasn't. And that's what accountability is supposed to be. And it's more so supposed to be, you look back at these mistakes and these failures from these past figures, and it's more about encouraging people not to make the same mistakes going forward. This isn't about smearing Bob Barker's legacy. It's about enlightening people with the truth and the reality. And it's not to intend to speak ill of the dead because, oh, well, he can't defend himself, but why do we need to defend anything if, looking back at past improprieties, we realize that maybe this behavior isn't acceptable, and that going forward, we need to acknowledge that maybe we should have done better then, and we need to do better now, and we're going to do better tomorrow, is probably what I would say to conclude. Does it tarnish the life and legacy? If you feel the truth tarnishes the life and legacy of somebody or a cultural icon, that's entirely on you for clinging to your idol hero worship. Humans are human. Humans have pasts. And while some people cross that line into subhuman by their actions, that is a very hard line to get to, and I don't think that Bob Barker particularly did anything inhuman in the end. Rude, harassing, crass, mean. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's have those conversations. And yeah, just try to do better. Anything further?
Nah, mostly because it's like, what do you expect the dead to do?
Right. That's why I said I think that these stories are more about, it's about moving forward and encouraging better behavior, especially for executives and people that already have that clout. Like, I love the jokes about Keanu Reeves, he was found accused by treating women with respect and being a good boyfriend or whatever. Like, that's the kind of, those are the scandals you want to strive for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, nobody's gonna write that story except for the one about Keanu. Like, most journalists to this day, especially like entertainment journalists, like, they are more focused on the salacious and the most damning crimes because that's what people click read on. Like, people don't go to the internet to find out that people are doing better than them. They go to the internet to make sure that they're better than all of their favorite celebrities. At least that's what it's sold to us as.
Oh, that's what
Like,
Entertainment
I know a lot
Tonight
of people
was.
that just go to the internet for information. Like they're just trying to find how to fix X, Y, and Z. What's going on this weekend? They don't care about what happened 92 years ago when Bob Barker was a senior citizen,
Yeah.
right? And that's like the only reason I care about it is more about the progression of humanity. Like, it's proof that those industries were as bad as all the movies made it out to be. Like, name a movie where the Hollywood producer is actually a good person. Even in Argo, they're working with the CIA. It's for a good cause, but
there are good people within the CIA. They should just, be for its abolition. Anyway, RAM prices have started to drop, but the crisis is far from over. Coming to us from the incontinent gaming. Jesus, I just cannot get it right. Coming to us from IGN, since November 2025, RAM prices have been getting out of hand thanks to increased demand from AI hyperscalers. However, it looks like we've hit the peak, with RAM's kits starting to come down in price, if only by just a little bit. The easing on memory prices seems to be a response to TurboQuant, a new algorithm from Google that the company claims lowers the memory cost by as much as 6 times. On top of that, OpenAI's problems with raising funding have also contributed to the lowering memory costs, according to a report from The Telegraph. But even if prices will eventually fall back to a normal level, we're not quite there yet. I've been using this 32GB kit of G.Skill Flare X5 DDR5 6000 memory as a sort of bellwether for the RAM market over the last few months. Right now, the memory is sitting at $419 for 32 gigs, which is significantly more expensive than it was at the end of last year. However, according to Campbell, that particular kit of RAM peaked at $449 at the end of February. While a $30 drop in price is hardly the relief that of PC gamers are hoping for, us PC gamers wipe our buttholes with $30 bills. As in, building a PC is expensive. Although, you console tards are about to feel it what it's like with those $1,000 premiums coming to the new Xbox and PS6. Price is hardly the relief that PC gamers are hoping for. It is movement in the right direction. I've been told by analysts like Moore, Insights, and Strategies, and Shelsag that the RAM crisis would last into or through 2027, and the recent plateau in memory costs doesn't exactly disprove that. But it does show that RAM is starting to inch back down in price, even if it wasn't in time to stop the PS5 and PS5 Pro from getting yet another price increase. Oof. So yeah, RAM's expensive. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, the whole reason it went expensive is because NVIDIA paid a bunch of people a bunch of money in the form of investments, and then they spent those investments on hardware. And they also bought it for because everybody else was buying all of it. And so it's like, you created your own problem by investing in competing companies, and then those competing companies bought all of the product, including future product. And then you weren't prepared for the consumer market to react. I feel like the majority of Wall Street people forget that consumers are the actual arbiters of reality. Government obviously forgot that, and they're learning that. They're learning very quickly how fast the market will shift when they make these wild and catastrophic decisions. They legitimately thought nobody cared. Oops. And I think the exact same thing happened to NVIDIA. They became a $5 trillion company or a $2 trillion company, something like that. I can't remember the exact number. But they're now oh my goodness. Our entire world can shift at our whim. Let's see what happens when we open the bags of wind. And it's God damn, there are so many books, movies, video games, general videos on YouTube that explain that type of arrogance and hubris and how to wield it with wisdom.
Yeah.
Which is what we're here for.
All right. And with that,
there's so many writing things you can compare.
By the power of Grayskull, Masters of the Universe live action is gonna bomb. Trailer reveals Jared Leto, which is basically Cinema Poison, as Skeletor. Or, sorry, who's basically Cinema Poison? I mean, at least he's not on the Epstein files. Let's take a look. Or maybe this is Jared Leto's comeback. Doubt it, though.
I know most of you don't remember me, but I know all of you. Even though I was stuck light years away on Earth, I never stopped trying to get back home.
Everything changed since you left.
It's all gone. Skeletor took my family. And he destroyed our world.
It's all my fault. I know how it feels to fail. Take the sword. And when you fall, that's your chance to stand tall.
Yeah, now I don't have to go to the movie.
The universe shall quake in my shadow.
This is my home. I'm gonna fight for it. But I can't do it without you.
Somebody wants to brawl.
I need every man, woman, or whatever that is.
You may have the power, but you're too scared to use it.
Trust me, I know how to use it.
I don't get how it revealed Jared Leto, but anyway.
You tell everyone that you're from another planet. It just makes you sound a little very crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. That looked really fucking cool. I'm gonna go see that. Probably here in the Key West Theater. I mean, that just, dude, what a freaking awesome looking movie. Like, I was not expecting anything. I was definitely looking to rip into that, and yet I think I'm gonna go sit in the movie with some popcorn and a little bit of smoke and beer, and gonna have a great time with that film. What do you think, John?
Yeah, no, honestly, I didn't like the cartoon because it always felt like the TV
Shit.
was scratching. Like, even though, like, it technically wasn't, it was more like the music choice and it was techno barble or whatever. Like, every time they yelled, it broke the speakers and messed with it. And, I Have the Power was yelled in every episode.
Right.
And
I like that he said the
like,
thing in the
I really
trailer, so
wanna
now I
see
might
it.
not have to go to the movie at all, you know?
Oh, dude, I'm down to see it mostly because Grayskull memes like actually provided faith in the show. Like, I got so excited mostly in terms of like I really want the meme Grayskull. I don't want the modern one that's like actually this dark, ominous bad guy. Like, I want him to be a sassy Grayskull. And if that's Jared Leto, like, I'm down. Because I don't know if you saw Tron Ares.
I
But
did not.
honestly, that felt like a very revival.
Mm.
Like, Jared Leto was awesome in Ares. I loved that movie. Goose loved that movie. It's a great movie.
Nice. I'll probably get around to... So anyway, price hike or discount. Nintendo's changes to physical and digital game pricing have analysts split too. Nintendo games are about to get more expensive. What in the fuck isn't in 2026? Or less, depending on whether or not you want a physical copy and how you read its recent decision to change different prices for physical and digital games in the US. As announced last week, Nintendo will now charge more for physical editions of games beginning with Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Yoshi will cost $69.99 in the US in store shelves, but will only be $59.99 if you download the digital edition. I'm gonna be honest here, that does not... I'm sorry, $49.99, $20 difference would probably really show the difference between the digital and physical editions. And yes, you'll still sell some decent amount of physical editions because there are physical copy people that want that shit. But $10 difference, John. What are you feeling? I'll get the physical one, which you have to download the digital one anyway to use the physical one. So it's a little bit of a redundancy all around.
My biggest thing is, like, I'm hoping that $10 is, like, sufficient. Like, give me a t-shirt, dude.
Right? Like,
are you kidding? I would buy all of my games hard copy if they came with a t-shirt at this point. Like, I hate shopping, but I only buy games I would wear a t-shirt of. Like, even just a black shirt with the product logo and name on the back, or no name. Just a black shirt, pocket square, name of the game on the pocket.
Yeah.
You guys can make millions of them. Just have them come in black, white, and gray. Every game has those three colors. Millions of dollars right there. There's your extra money that you so deserve. Like, how about you just focus on writing really good games before you start jacking up the prices? And Nintendo, I'm calling you out most importantly. Because, like, you release 1 or 2 games, and then you jack the prices up to account for... Like, I don't know. I don't know why you jacked the prices up. There was very little justification other than the fact that, like, you oversold your market and you haven't been able to produce more games that can sell for more money, which I don't get, because it feels like there are thousands and thousands of games being produced every day. So for some reason, it's more about just screwing the consumer than it is about earning the consumer's extra dollars.
Yep. Eddie Arndt 1949 comes in with, "What's up, guys? Just want to pop in and say hi. Been busy with life. I miss watching the show." Well, we miss you watching the show. We miss hanging out with you. But we are further establishing our Tuesday night consistency more consistently. Lazy Summer will take place, but it'll probably only be Pollo Zapatos and Corion participating this year. I'm probably going to be showing up every Tuesday, probably for, honestly, the foreseeable future. Something's got to be here, even if it's just a 30-minute podcast. But hey, we got all of our shows on demand. We are just now getting into our, we'll be starting our For All Mankind Season 5 discussion. So we're still here for you, and I feel your pain, man. I want to be there for a lot of my other friends and you know, content creators that I've been able to show up for a little bit before, and life's been kicking my balls too, so we just gotta keep hunkering down, keep pushing forward. As my good buddy slash boss and slash owner of the Tiki House likes to say, we gotta keep working every day so we can get to that point where we never have to work another day in our lives. And you know what's awesome is he doesn't just say that for himself, he says it because that's the life he wants us employees to have alongside with him. So that's it's a lofty goal, but you know what? That's why we're here on the podcast. That's why I'm learning the 6th string. That's why I'm kicking ass and shopping and, you know, standing security on Duval Street on the 200 block 2 nights a week. So, yeah. As the Futurama thing says, you got to do what you got to do. All right, turning now to a story that debuted on our first ever 15-second information intelligence podcast, something we will for sure be doing next week, and the 3-minute version will also come back too. We're just gonna have a bunch of 15-second ones as well, because look, some people just want one story at a time every 15 seconds. We can do that. Classic episodes of Sesame Street are coming to Tubi. Iconic episodes from seasons 1 through 38, including the time in 1980 that R2-D2 and C-3PO met Big Bird, will be available as part of the one-year deal. Tubi is getting that viewers are feeling nostalgic for old-school episodes of Sesame Street. All right. Probably not going to read too much more of this article at this point because it seems pretty straightforward, but all episodes of Sesame Street or Fox-owned streamer will arrive on April 1st. Oh, I bet this is an April Fool's joke. Anyway, it's probably not. All I'm seeing here right now, though, is if you're a parent that grew up on Sesame Street, you just found your kid's replacement for Bluey. Or whatever annoying crap that kids are into these days that, man, look back at Sesame Street and you realize how good Gen X parents had it, huh? Hey, millennial parent in the room?
Street. I didn't get into Sesame Street as a kid.
Neither did I.
It's not that I remember. And dude, craziest thing, my kid just got into Power Rangers on his own.
What? But Mom didn't let us get into Power Rangers, so why are you letting your kid?
Dude, my house is way more chaotic than our childhood home. A lot more freedom, but
that I do believe.
Power Rangers, I still cannot stand that stuff. It's so.
It is
like ever since Star Wars, I've always had just like a personal aggression towards bad acting or overacting and bad practical effects. So like I was telling my family, like I can't do ninja dust. It bothers me so much in the Power Rangers when the dust just explodes around them. I'm like, come on, guys. There's so much you can do. And I get it. He's watching the old stuff, the new stuff. I doubt it's better. And then we straight up, my wife and I were like, dude, look at this freaking action figure fighting an action figure of Godzilla. And our son goes, that's not an action figure. That's their armor. It's a real body armor. And then we watch it transform and it literally looks like the plastic Transformer. And I'm just like, I'm not going to argue with a 5-year-old because...
Oh, I love it. I love it.
It's the power of imagination. It's real, dude.
I mean, Star Wars is also real. New Supergirl trailer shows off a lot more of Jason Momoa's Lobo, reveals a call from a concerned Superman, and sees Crypto, the Superdog, in dire straits. We gotta move these color TVs. Oh, wait, no, that's kind of dire straits. Anyway, let's check out the trailer.
Hey, I was just touching base to see when you think you might be coming back. You know, I'm just worried that you're not going to find your stride here if you keep going off-world all the time, Kara. I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people. Home is wherever you are, buddy. Crypto and I at least had each other. Honestly, I thought we were lucky. But luck, almost by definition, runs out. What can I do?
The brigands carry the antidote on that person. He has 3 days.
You cannot give up on me.
It's the crime of the Yellow Hills. He murdered my innocent family.
Just do what I say. And don't die. This does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
You're hurting my head.
Revenge. It won't take your pain away.
Your eyes are beautiful when you cry. A lot of pain, huh? A lot of suffering.
There's no home without you, buddy.
Aren't you the ditz from that dive bar?
Funny. That's what I've been calling you.
Touche.
Well, no, I don't want to start the shit. All right, we're just gonna shut that.
Hey.
Shut up. All right. Well, contrary to the He-Man trailer, not really liking that one, to be honest. Not hating it per se, but I don't really feel like that's going to get an ass in a trailer. Skogliotin says, this looks really good. We'll jump on the panel, Skogli, and argue your point. Or if you want, or you don't have to. But I'm glad you think it looks really good. I think it looks I think it's James Gunn retooling, recycling the same old James Gunn shit and putting it on a new skin. And I think a lot of people are reading into the whole dog thing when it's obviously a retooled Baby Yoda kind of deal. I don't know, man.
Dude, I think it's more than anything, it's like Superman without the Superman, but trying to get the Superman.
Which I give credit for there. It's doing a decent job of showing me that this trailer has me a bit more inspired and a bit more confidence that it could be good versus the last trailer. But I'm still just like, with this movie, like, I might just wait for a streaming on that one.
I don't know. Like, I'm a huge Superman fan. I don't really care that much about Supergirl because it felt like she got to skip a lot of the Superman, like, philosophy.
I like Superman, not Superman.
Well, she's just trying to learn how to be, like, the difference between an alien and, like, a human. Because she has to talk to Superman about it. Because, like, for her, she already learned how to be a human by Kryptonian standards, and then woke up and was a superhero. It's this, like, it was the 13 going on 30 story, right? And that's fun, but that's not the story they tell us. Yeah. Like, that's what bothers me so much about their, like, the modern version of Supergirl is, like, she just seems way more depressed than a kid who woke up with superpowers.
Yeah.
Which is her story, is like, because in Krypton, they don't have superpowers. On Krypton, they were just people. But because of the way she was in orbit or whatever the story could be, like, literally, you could have it, the reason why Superman found her is that she's been in a near-Earth orbit in cryostasis. And now Superman wakes her up and she's, like, you know, learning that her family and the entire Krypton died. But, like, while also being a superhero, it's kind of distracting. Like, I feel like the amount of emotional distraction is just too much. It's too watering down human emotions down to this thing that, like, they're overpowering. Most people can't even get out of bed in the day. And it's like, no, most studies show that it's about 10%, maybe 20%. Depending on the election cycle.
Skogly writes in,
80% of people that are like, my emotions don't hold me down. Yeah, they ruin my day sometimes. But like 99%, it's average.
yeah. Skogly writes in, that specific comic book that they are adopting from is actually very highly regarded. She's actually older than Superman. Superman grew up on Earth, but she basically just woke up. Her family died basically yesterday from her perspective. Ah. So it's...
Again, but she also woke up with superpowers. Like, I do get the being sad, but I feel like anime handles the sadness mixed with superpowers storylines so much better than modern, like, live action comic books. Like, I would even say the comic book probably made it make sense. Where she's like, yeah, I'm really sad, but also, did you see me throw that car? That was crazy. And also, did you see these cars? Where we're from, we don't have cars. We have... And you get to invent something cool that you can put on in CGI. Do a little flashback to Krypton when she was going to school. And she, like, teleported there. Or she, you know, rode a scooter that portaled her there. What are Jetsons style world? Like, you can make that a thing because nobody else has. But instead, you're more focused on doing what every teen drama does, which is soak the drama out of everything. Then you're missing all of the excitement of comic books. Like, the thing people loved about comic books was that they were supers, doing super things while also being kind of people.
Yeah. Fallout Season 2 reaches 83 million viewers worldwide, Amazon says. Well, for woke garbage, that's pretty damn good. The second season of Fallout amassed a widespread global audience. First-party data from Prime Video shows that 83 million people worldwide watched at least some of the season during its first 13 weeks of release, premiered December 16, 2025. That puts Fallout in second place all-time among returning series on the Amazon Prime-owned streamer, behind only Reacher's second season in 2023 to 2024. Season 1 of Fallout also had an uptick of viewing while Season 2 was running. Amazon says such that 100 million people globally watched at least a few minutes of the series as a whole. That is awesome news. Well done, Fallout fans, old and new alike, for showing up. I mean, I think that, yeah, the show is now kind of moving into its own thing, away from the game universe. Not like away in a bad way, but it does need to take its story somewhere. And I've loved Season 2. I don't know why everyone thought it was so terrible. Honestly, everything seems within par of the Fallout universe that I've seen. Most of what people complain about, it just seems to be based on the show not following through on a universe based on fan theories. Your assessment, Pollo Zapatos.
Dude, I thought Season 2 was better than Season 1 because it skipped over a lot of the vault stuff. Like, closer to the movies, or not the movies, but in the games.
Right.
In the games where you're, like, in the vault to get your vault tech gear and then get out of the vault. It means next to nothing. And I felt like that's what this show did very well with Season 2. It's like, no, we're not dealing with vault dwellers anymore. We're dealing with people that have now exited. And, like, even her brother's storyline, like, there was so much more than there was in Season 1. And I feel like that's the part that, like, makes it confusing why people would consider this season, like, more woke. It's like, she didn't win. Like, if anything, her dad is the definition of the woke mind virus. He literally created a woke mind virus. And they're showing how that is the exact same thing as turning people into robots. And, like, that's the opposite of being woke. That's literally showing why there is a limit to your kindness. At some point, you have to say too far.
Not a single, the show Fallout is brilliant because it does not play good guys versus bad guys. It just basically went full steam ahead into absolute morally gray zone. Like, we root for the ghoul because we follow the ghoul because we think he's a good... We were told he's one of the protagonists. And, well, he's also an asshole. And not a very good dude. He's a bit of more of an anti-hero. Yeah, he chooses to get along with and help and save Lucy, but that's like one person he's helped out of probably millions that he's neglected over the 239 years. But why would he do it? Well, you know, the wasteland makes fools or survivalists of us all in one form or another, and that's, you know, that's what the show does a good job of showing, is that while there's a lot of cynicism in this universe, there's also a lot of practical, I think what I love about Fallout is it provides the opportunity for every single survivalist, whether they play video games or watch television now, to experience a world designed for your post-apocalyptic survival fantasies, and pretty much shows you, no, you don't want this.
Not only do you not want this, but like, even on your best day, it's not going to improve overnight. Like, that's one of my least favorite things about survival games, is you can spend hours building this super sick base, but then as soon as you go back out into the regular world that hasn't been touched by you, it's like, oh yeah, we're still in the dinosaur times. Oh yeah, we're still in space. Like, there isn't other bases being built simultaneously. There isn't innovation anywhere. You don't like stumble upon a tribe that has 10x the better weapons than you. Like, once you max level, you've maxed. Like, and to me, that is the biggest demonstration of why we don't want that. Because every time we resort back to anarchy and survival, we result in a stagnation in technological development that just, it at this point, it feels so obvious that the only reason anybody is doing it is because they're bored, and they think for some reason anarchy is where innovation comes from. No, boredom is where innovation comes from. Free time is where innovation comes from. Conversation is where innovation comes from. But when everybody's working 9 to 5, locked in on their cell in their cubicle, there's no innovation because you're not fostering any innovation. And that's on you as the guy who's paying everybody. You can schedule an innovation hour where every hour or every office for 1 hour a day, everybody just sits in a room and talks. At first, you'll just have people goofing. But after a while, people will start doing stuff because they're bored with their hour. They want to spend that hour actually innovating.
Yep.
It's investing in the future and investing in potential. It seems scary, except that's what happened to you, Mr. Boss Man. Like, somebody invested in you and you proved them right. So like, if you collect good workers, then you can invest in good workers and take some risks on their time.
Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 will premiere on Netflix in June 2026. So, if you like Avatar the live-action retelling, which I kind of enjoyed it for what it was, then you're probably going to enjoy Season 2. I don't know, we'll see. Netflix announced Tuesday that Season 2 of their live-action Avatar series will premiere on June 25th, 2026. In Season 2, after a bittersweet victory saving the Northern Water Tribe from the invading Fire Nation, Avatar Aang, Katara, Sokka regroup and set off on a mission to convince the elusive Earth King to aid in their battle against the fearsome Fire Lord Ozai, according to the official plot synopsis. Netflix also released this behind-the-scenes video on the making of Avatar Airbender Season 2, which we will not watch at this moment. The behind-the-scenes footage showcases the cast, including new co-star Miyako as Earthbender Toph Baifong, filming stunts and training, as well as new locations such as Ba Sing Se, the capital of the Earth Kingdom. Definitely going to take a quick look at these pictures. Alright, so far that's a pretty good casting of Toph. Okay, yeah, she's definitely been recast. But I gotta be honest. New Azula does look more like what live-action Azula should probably look like.
almost like they recast a kid because in the story she aged. Like, I don't even, it's hard to tell if they actually recast her because that girl looks almost exactly like her older sister.
Yeah. It's definitely a level up this season, Katara actress Keel Walthano declares in the video. Co-star Yu adds, all that bending styles are really elevated this season. Why are they only just using first names? Now that we're past season 1, we're into the real meat of the story, a visibly excited Liu says. And especially with the fight scenes what we have this season, it's mind-blowing to see how everyone has grown. Yeah, no, I mean, it should be a really, really good season, but, yeah. No, I mean, I remember enjoying season 1. I think we reviewed it on the old podcast back when we called it the Ryder Brothers Podcast. Stupid. Anyway.
I don't think it's that stupid. I liked it.
It was a start, but now I need more alcohol and we need another trailer. This one comes to us from X-Twitters. Unfortunately, contrary to our clickbait title, it was just an SNL, skit making fun of the possibility of, I'm going to be honest, John, I kind of, maybe not that exact format, maybe not making fun of the premise that exactly, but watching that trailer, I was like,
I think they should exactly do that, and I think right at the climax, somebody dies, and the cloud guy brings him back. Honestly, that felt like Death Race, and at this point, bringing back the idea of parody feels so in time, like it is time for more parodies of what everybody else is doing, and I would watch a 10-season arc of Mario Kart, especially if they just kept getting progressively better graphics with each one, and it's literally just the world around them gets brighter and starts to evolve, but their outfits never change.
Yeah. It looks like
I thought it was hilarious, but I would watch a parody of that for sure.
Looks like our desktop stream is taking a shit for the moment, whereas our
vertical seems to be working.
Vertical is just fine. So if you're on the horizontal and need to switch to vertical, now would probably be the time, because it looks like stream suspended for policy violations. Yeah, not really sure which ones, unless the parody trailer of somebody else's intellectual property is somehow protected by copyright, which massive LOL on that one overall. But yes, moving on now to the next thing. That was also, of course, a way to segue to the Super Mario Galaxy movie first reactions. I have not made it to the theater to see the new Mario film. This is, of course, the follow-up to the 2023 movie. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, yeah. Looks like it'll be hitting theaters April 1st. Super Mario Galaxy held its first press screenings on Monday, and the early reaction on social media seems mixed at best. While full critics' reviews for the Super Mario Galaxy movie are embargoed till Tuesday, Universal allowed press and others to post their limited reactions on social media on Monday. Follow-up to the hugely popular 2023 franchise starters, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Galaxy tells the story of Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach once again facing the evil Bowser, this time along with his son, Bowser Jr. Adventure that spans the galaxy. Along the way, they meet new characters including Princess Rosalina and Nintendo icon Yoshi. Galaxy once again features the core voice cast of Chris Pratt as Mario, Anaya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. New voices for the sequel include Benny as Bowser Jr., Isaiah Ray as Honey Queen, Brie Larson as Princess Rosalina, Glenn Powell as Fox McCloud, and Donald Glover as Yoshi. Interesting. Okay, I'll say this. For a movie purely designed to jingle keys in front of an audience, it's somehow pretty bad at that too. Why are we unnecessarily changing Mario lore? Why are there more Odyssey references than Galaxy? Fox's there is here and yet doesn't build up to anything. Alright. Super Mario Galaxy movie faithfully recreates the visuals of the iconic Nintendo games and thankfully doesn't shoehorn tons of pop songs like the last movie. Unfortunately, it's marred by unfocused plotting, disjointed pacing, and a lack of heart. Some fun surprises to enjoy. Oof. Super Mario Galaxy movie is a mixed bag. There are aspects that I found stronger than the first, which I loved, but the promise of adapting Galaxy feels like an afterthought and is shockingly low on the vibes. The game has a stronger story. Interesting. Well, it looks like if you're going to see the Super Mario movie, you're either gonna love it or you hate it. Guess you watch and decide for yourself. And it looks like our horizontal stream is back up and operational. All right. Are you ready, John? It is time.
Ready.
It is time. It is time.
Warning. You are entering a dangerous area where intelligence goes to die and logic and reason commit suicide on a daily basis. You're entering a place where horrible things and stupid ideas are praised and intelligence is laughed at and murdered in the streets. You are entering the stupid sphere.
Out my head.
A fan campaign surges as supporters rally to save Starfleet Academy. No, it is not a cruel April Fool's joke. People are mad before even seeing the second season, which the show should not have been renewed for in the first place before seeing the first season. I miss when, we did television smartly. Fans have put their names on 30,000 people have decided to stake their name behind a third season going in totally blind for Starfleet Academy. Rapidly growing.
Oh, yes. All 30,000 attendees of San Diego's Comic-Con. Pretty sure there was a lot more than that, but, all 30,000 of those only Star Trek fans.
Only Trekkies. A rapidly growing fan-led campaign.
People that signed the Acolyte one?
The 300,000 people that signed the Acolyte one? Or...
I
don't remember.
Of the Acolytes
it was a stupid high number that signed on for Crapolite Season 2, but oh boy. No, in a continuing revolution of stupidity, we have a rapidly growing lead campaign is calling on Paramount's board of directors to renew Star Trek Starfleet Academy for a third season, arguing that the series has become a vital new chapter. My God, no, it hasn't. In a long legacy of exploration, optimism, and social commentary. No. Starfleet Academy came in too little, too late. Starfleet Academy took a lot of the problems of Star Trek Discovery and tried to correct some of those, but then also got way super ridiculous on its social commentary. It wasn't super preachy the way that Discovery can be, or even sometimes Strange New Worlds, but it was still like, yes, more optimism. No, not grimdark, everything sucks Star Trek that we got with Discovery, but oh my gosh. It wasn't anything special or great. It was all over the place. Yes, it had good moments and moments I liked and callbacks to some of the classic Trek series, but it did not stick the landing. Like, we broke both knees going forward on Impact here. What do you think, John?
Yeah, no, I think my opinions it's right up there with the Acolyte. Like, I feel like the people that keep asking for more are bots. I don't know what 30,000 people watched the same thing I watched and were like, gonna watch that again. And you know what? I want more. And oh man, they already canceled it? Like, I feel like they're just grabbing people off the street, like the same people that they do market research with, and going, hey, do you think we should do this again? And they're like, yeah, I'll sign it. Go away. Like, I really don't think anybody actually cared or knew what they were signing.
So you think
and
that...
if you did, okay, I'm not sorry. I disagree with you entirely based off of watch all of my opinions from last week and the week before. Like, it's bad.
Yeah, no, I have to agree that it was not... It showed promise and potential. Honestly, the fact that it even got a second season is ridiculous, and we'll deal with that ridiculous season when it comes out, but I don't foresee a third season coming about because of this, and continuing our wave of Trek stupidity, Project Hail Mary author Andy Weir apologizes for criticizing Paramount Plus Star Trek shows. So, walking back his comments about what Kurtzman shows he liked and which ones he didn't like, Andy Weir has, that's the thing. I'm inspired to not walk back any of my criticism of Starfleet Academy or Kurtzman Trek that I have levied at this point. What about you, John?
Yeah, I really want to apologize for...
Sorry for being honest. Sorry for giving you my opinion. Sorry for respecting yours, even if we disagree. Yes, I can apologize for that. Yes, in retrospect, Andy Weir thinks his comments were out of line.
I feel disrespected because we disagree. To me, it's more like, I don't understand what your metrics of good are. Because, like, you got canceled because you didn't retain audience. You got canceled because you didn't bring back old audience. Like, you can say that it was a great show because it had the same amount of diversity as every other Star Trek show since the inception of Star Trek. Congrats. Pat yourself on the back, I guess. Like, do whatever makes you feel good, but don't sit here and tell me you did good work. The money speaks for itself. And by that, I mean the lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, switching now, of course, out of the stupid sphere and into the smart space, preceding our For All Mankind discussion. For All Mankind is to end with Season 6 at Apple TV. Creators explain why and what to expect. Hi, Bob. In advance of its long-awaited Season 5 return, Apple TV's For All Mankind has been renewed for a 6th and final season. The news also comes in advance of the premiere of spin-off series Star City, which takes a look at the alternative space race storyline from the Soviet perspective and premieres on May 29th. Oh yeah, we finished Season 5 of this show right into Star City. News means For All Mankind will be able to complete its expansive storyline as originally envisioned by creators Ronald D. Moore, Matt Wolpart, and Ben Nadivi. A rarity in the often quick cancel culture of TV, For All Mankind launched on November 1st, 2019, the same day as Apple TV's The Morning Show, making both series the streamer's longest-running series. Getting to explore the For All Mankind universe over 6 seasons has been an amazing privilege, and we're thrilled to have the opportunity to finish the storyline the way we've always hoped, said Wolpart and Nedby in a joint statement, or Nadivi. We're incredibly proud of what this series has become, and grateful to Apple TV and Sony Pictures Television for helping us see it through to its final chapter. For All Mankind has earned rave reviews and awards recognition for its unique storytelling, unfurling an history of the U.S., the space race, and even the globe as it ponders how life might be different had the Soviet Union made it to the moon first. Perhaps the Cold War would have forced the U.S. to double down, spending more money and resources to then build a moon base first. Along the way, the Soviets and the Americans would try to outdo each other, leading to other advances in technology and perhaps quicker social change, like the passage of Equal Rights Amendment. From being one of the first Apple originals to launch on Apple TV in 2019, For All Mankind has remained an innovative, epic sci-fi series that has enthralled fans season after season. Apple TV programming head Matt Chernis said in a statement, "As one of Apple TV's most enduring and celebrated series, it has delivered time and again because of the extraordinary artistry of visionary storytellers Ron, Matt, and Ben, along with our partners at Sony. And we can't wait for people to experience how this story comes to its exhilarating conclusion with the final season debuts next year." Season 5 has returned this week, which of course we watched. Yeah. And, this will be, season 5 stuff, which, we'll talk about soon. But, what do you think, John? I mean, it's kind of sad to see For All Mankind's going to end after 6 seasons. I mean, they're going to bring it to the present day, at least our present day. I honestly think we should do one season going into the future. Give us something we can at least still try and go for and attain. You know what I mean?
No. I think that's where series 2 should come in. Like, honestly, I've been talking about this show, like, this is right up to the line where Expanse starts kicking off. So now you can have a whole show about the Belter evolution that starts right after this, maybe 10 years forward, maybe 20 years forward from us right now. And then you get into the Expanse, and then you get into Star Trek. And, like, to me, it's like, what's the in between Star Trek and the Expanse? Open space. We got to invent the Klingons somehow. We got to find out how they've been doing this whole thing without us. And, like, to me, like, this is where Enterprise, which is supposed to be right around the beginning of Earth's warp capabilities and joining Starfleet, like, that story was very much like, we basically invented the paper airplane, then we invented the B-2 bomber, and then warp drive. And, like, that is technically how fast the timeline happened. But it was so missing so many other things. Like, I do feel like the Expanse to Mars, the idea of trying to populate other parts of our solar system alone just to create a highway that we can then use to go to other solar systems. Like, I feel like on the belt is where they find a crashed warp capable ship. Then somebody gets it transported all the way back to Earth. Then Earth actually recreates warp capable drive. Then the Vulcans show up. Suddenly we start seeing more of like the beginnings of Starfleet, but not necessarily the complete inception. And that's so many years to work with and so many different things to work on. And like, normally after watching Starfleet Acme, I'd be like, nobody could ever do it. There's not a chance that any show could do it. But I've watched all of For All Mankind. I've watched every single episode more than once, except for season 5. Because, you know, I'm on the first episode. And it's proof that you can do ensemble with multiple generations, and you can continue escalating storylines without maintaining ages and making characters seem like they're undead. So it turns out it could have been done. You just had to pay the right guys. Apple obviously knows who to pay because they keep doing it. And I feel like everybody else is making excuses at this point.
Yeah.
Because season 5 opened so good.
Oh,
whereas
100%.
like season 5 of Game of Thrones was butt. And, you know, like some of the greatest shows of our time within the last 10 years. And For All Mankind is on season 5, and it's crushing every single episode one. Like season 3, they had a moon resort that failed. And it's like, oh, that's why we don't have moon resorts. Interesting. Like just those levels of like effort into writing, but also choreographing the timeline. It is amazing. It's everything I've been looking for in TV. I want more of it.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I will say season 2 is still the strongest in my opinion. Season 4 was definitely a return to that kind of tension and just drama. Season 3 I thought was still good. Like, there's no bad seasons of this show. and I mean, the first season is just special for what it is. So yeah, we can end with this season. That's fine. We can also end, with, I think we could realistically get a 7th. I will say it's, oh man, talk about, something that you never really realize how much you could attach yourself to a character in a show until you've basically watched them grow old. And I mean, here we are, we first met Ed Baldwin, sitting at a bar angrily watching the Soviets land on the moon first, and wishing that, he had done the landing himself, or maybe he shouldn't. He's conflicted back and forth on that, and then that whole motivation there was just brilliant. But it's like, now here he is, obviously approaching the end of the line as an old man, and everything we've seen him do, everything we've seen him go through, and everything we've seen him suffer, and I mean, it's just like it's one of those situations where you get so locked into main character syndrome, and with this show, that our boy ain't gonna be in season 6, and that's like really just hard to want to have to accept, but it's like, that's life. We get old, and this show does a very good job of giving you an opportunity to, I guess, experience human mortality without having to get there right away. And that's what's really cool about a show like this, jumping through the eras, watching characters actually go through life and, reach the end of the line. Whereas, we've literally watched Ed over the last 50 years of his life. And it's been an incredible journey. But as you said, there are more characters, of course, and what did you think?
I think you're absolutely right. Like, not only have we watched Ed just exist, but like every hero that we've loved forever does still have to fight mortality. And I think it's crazy how this is one of the few shows where like Ed is the definition of fighting mortality, and while he's doing it, like, also fighting the system. If anything, he's an inspiration even as he goes closer to death. Like, he's like, no, you still do not let the government win. And I think that's such a it's an example of why the old shouldn't technically be in charge anymore. Like, they are as stuck in their ways as they were when they were 30. And like, now we give them reverence, and that reverence allows them to just walk all over common sense. And I feel like that was a big thing that was demonstrated in season 4. It was like, as Ed was losing control, he lost all sense of respect for control. And now the world that we're waking up in is like, oh, looks like they came out of it. But like, even Ed is like, no, I'm still the 30-year-old man fighting for control, even if I'm now in a different position. And it's like, let's listen to Ed, because he did come from somewhere. But like, we do need the younger generations to tell him to chill, because he will start another riot.
Well, and I don't know, at the same time, he kind of doesn't, well, I don't know. You're right. Yeah, you're right. He probably would. And yeah. No, everything about this show is believable because it doesn't stray too far from the possibilities of what's believable and what's not. And I think last season, bringing us the new character of the janitor, who's now a person of influence on Mars now. That was, his character growth just in the last season was incredible. But now we see that there's been even more, and this is where we now kind of get into more of the, I guess you could say the performance base of the show. Like, we missed the janitor's growth to where he is now, and yet I believe that he has grown so much as a person. The way that he's like, oh, okay, guys, stop with the revolutionary salutes. That was 10 years ago. It's time to, or it was 8 years ago. We now have to do things, by the bureaucracy, by the book. We have to do this because this is, how people don't get killed. And boy, are we just freaking bringing in a whole nother set of freaking variables with now we have a murder on the Red Planet. And we don't know why and what the hell's going on with that. And now we think it's, it's the Korean guy who was the first guy on Mars.
Which I thought was very interesting because to me that storyline is very much along the lines of, like, they said he was one of the guys that had requested asylum, but like there are a lot of the stories of asylum seekers actually being spies to get other asylum seekers, and part of me thinks like that's exactly what just happened.
Well, maybe. I mean, it is entirely possible. But yeah, I mean, I felt like with this season we are coming up very strong. It is not pulling any punches. It is straight up just coming in, going, things are looking pretty grim and things are pretty bleak. And, here's the parallels to current day Earth. And, oh, by the way, we're going to go a totally different direction now. just like every season before it. So, narratively, It is still keeping me on my toes. I do we even want to bother with predictions this season? Because, like, I'm here for the ride. You know what I mean? Like, this is a show that's gotten to a point where just show it to me. I don't need to go on fan theories or go, dive into this stuff, because that's probably not going to do what I want to do anyway.
Not only do I think fan theories are going to go the wrong direction, I feel like more than anything, this story is pretty clear as to what's going on. Like, it is the rise of Mars, but like the hardest part to predict is what does that mean? And like, especially in the case of For All Mankind, that's really what they're trying to show is like, even if we get to the future where this is possible, like, you still have to be a human navigating this. And in order to do that correctly, like, you're going to make a lot of concessions that you would have, like, screamed you would never make. But now it's time to actually, like, pick. Do you concede and allow things to work? Or do you be Ed and fight because you're not the guy in charge of the things going the way you want them to? And that's a very common question, especially in leadership. How do you step down and let somebody else lead you? And I feel like that was something that, like, this show, more than any that I've seen lately, actually handles very well. Because even when somebody like Ed is being pushed around and being pushed out of leadership, like, A, you see him not do well about it. And then B, you also see him, like, grow into it. You also see him be like, wait, that's not how I would have liked it if I had taken over. Let me apologize and also set the record straight. Like, those are very human things, and I feel like most shows try to skip over it because they don't want your heroes to look bad. And sometimes they do. Like, sometimes your heroes make mistakes, and that's how you learn that no hero is perfect. That's how you learn that every hero is a human. And from there, you can actually learn how to be a better hero yourself. Because you watch somebody else fail that you look up to, and then you follow in their footsteps of success. And you can skip the failure because you watched them make mistakes that you choose not to make because you were listening and you were paying attention. Like, that's the beauty of storytelling, is we can learn from other people's failures without ever having to worry about their risks. But it's up to you to actually listen. And I think that's something this show demonstrates, is not everybody is listening correctly. Not everybody is paying attention. Even the people that are actively participating don't exactly know everything, and they don't actually know if they're making the right decisions every time. And I think that's huge. Like, A, I don't think I can name another show that's done that recently, but B, like, that's something we all need to hear. and we all need to see that, like, it's on us to be better regardless of what our favorite people are doing. Like, we can't stoop to a lower level because then the bar gets lowered with us.
Yeah, so honestly, I think this season's gonna be. I'm hoping for another banger. I'm hoping for it being a hard one to contend with season 2, season 4. It's already off to a very strong start, so I absolutely love where it's got me hooked again. I mean, this is one of the greatest shows ever made. It is definitely a strong spiritual prequel to Star Trek. I mean, it definitely could also work for The Expanse, but it's also got the Star Trek elements there, which, I mean, what would you expect? Ronald D. Moore, was a writer for Star Trek, wrote a lot of DS9, so yeah. Any last thoughts, John? Any final things to say, or I think we pretty much suddenly hit the end of the line.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. Please don't forget to join us next week. We are going to attempt once again to get into part 4 of our Star Wars revival. We also pretty much ran out of time tonight anyway, so it works out. But yes, we don't want to do that one without Corione, let alone, it's bad enough I want to have to do it with 388 subscribers, which it's fine. You guys are all worthy. It's just, it might break our 5-year rule if it comes up to having to review it again sooner for whatever reason. But for now, we're going to be talking about it next week. We're going to be talking about our pop culture. We're going to be talking about everything else that's going on. Simon Dust 6453 says, "Peekaboo, hey Simon, good to see you right at the end of the world, or end of the show." So yeah, thanks of course to our sponsors, Simon Dusk 64, Eddie Arndt, checking in, as well as Skogli Jotun. Thank you guys for your comments, your likes, shares, your subscribes. This is what keeps our dreams coming true and making things happen. We'll be back next week, and we'll see you then. Good night.
This has been the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Writer Brothers. The Writer Brothers, restoring respect in a discourse. Have a great night.